Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodgings. Such a Wagner as Phaeton would whip them to the west, and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runway's eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see, to do their amorous rites, by their own beauties, and if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, Romeo, come thou, day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, loving black-browed night, thou sober-suited matron all in black, and give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars. He will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. I have bought the mansion of a love and not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed, so tedious is this day, just as is night to an impatient child who hath new robes and may not wear them. Okay, so that was, I paused. It took me some time to go back to being my body, because this avatar obviously looks just like me. So this was the first monologue. She doesn't look like me at all, obviously.
About 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, let's say 20 years ago. So now we're going on to a second monologue. We're skipping 2 centuries. Shakespeare was 1595. Now we're going to 1870 to Chekhov. So Russian Revolution, the aristocrats and the intellectuals are decaying. And this monologue is a beautiful piece from Cherry Orchard, where Lyuba Ravensky, aristocrat woman of 56 years old, has to sell her beloved property, her cherry orchard and her whole property, because the aristocrats have no more money. They don't work. So this monologue represents insight. The psychological part of this monologue, which I really love, is her getting old and becoming weaker and more vulnerable and more emotional, as opposed to young people who have their whole life in front of them, who still have not felt suffering in life, so they just feel proud and bold and strong, like Juliet. Nothing stops them. Juliet was asking the sun to go away because she thinks life is hers, and she has the strength and enthusiasm of young people. And Lyuba here, this woman, is the opposite. Okay, she's talking to a young intellectual, Peter Trofimov, and talking about this. So I will go and get the actress, the avatar actress. She's changing in her changing room, putting on her makeup, and her name is Katarina, and she will come back and perform Lyuba for you. Where is he? Why isn't he here? I don't know what to do. I'll scream. I'll do something idiotic. If only I knew. If only I knew whether the property has been sold or not. My beloved cherry orchard. Peter, say something. Say something to me, please. You can see what's true and untrue, while I seem to have lost all power of vision. You can tell any important issue and solve it so boldly. But tell me, Peter, isn't this maybe because you are young? Because you have never yet ever solved any problem in your life out of your own suffering? Yes, Peter, you can look boldly ahead because you don't see anything terrible in your future. Life is still hidden from your young eyes. But take pity on me, Peter. I was born here. My father and mother were born. They lived and they died here. Without the cherry orchard, life has no meaning to me. So for heaven's sake, if it must be sold, well, sell me along with it. My little boy my little boy drowned. Right out there, Peter. Out there. So now, be gentle with me. My heart jumps at every sound, and I just cannot seem to shut myself up because I'm afraid of silence. So don't be hard on me, Peter, please. Don't be hard.
Some years ago, and like many of you, I read Snow Crash, and that was pretty much of an influencing book, but it was actually The Diamond Age, which is a book that Neil Stephenson wrote right after, which started talking about racting, sort of real-time virtual reality acting, and that kind of immediately hit. I was already working in computer. I've been working in computers for a long time, and my sister was an actress, so I kind of saw the two things together. Of course, it's been...
Hey, I'm really sorry to interrupt. I mean, these ladies were just great. I mean, their acting was just incredible. I just told them in the dressing room, I said, you guys are really incredible. But, you know, I wanted to talk to the director of this whole thing. Is it you, Luch? Listen, yeah, I want to know...
Yeah. Sorry.
It was you, huh? So listen, you did the casting of this, right? Yeah?
Well, I crashed, actually, but it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, listen, I just wanted to know, I mean, why wasn't I considered? I mean, hey, look at me, guys. I mean, don't you think I could play Shakespeare? I could be a terrific Romeo, you know? I mean, I'd make an incredible omelet.
You mean Hamlet?
Hamlet, omelet, what's the difference, Luch? It's eggs and ham, it's the same thing. You want to listen to me? Okay, you guys, please. I need to concentrate. Okay, I'm gonna do Hamlet for you. Omelet, Hamlet. I gotta warm up my voice. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm ready. To be or not to be, that is the insect.
The insect?
Lucho, would you quit interrupting, please?
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
He's talking about an insect. A bee is an insect with 8 legs. You know that? Okay, just... You want me to do something else? I can do something else. You want me to do a cartoon character? Sure, I can do anything. I mean, name it, you guys. I could do Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. I could be Carrie from Incredibles. I can play Sid from Ice Age.
Sid, go for Sid.
You want me to do Sid? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I need to concentrate. La 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 blah 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 blah. Okay. I'm ready. Oh! They left without me! Oh, they're migrating again! They do this every year! Why? Doesn't anybody love me? Doesn't anybody care about Sid the Sloth? Oh, Lucho, I think I just stepped on something. Ooh, it stinks. It stinks really bad. I think it's dinosaur poop. Yep, it's dinosaur crap. Lucho, you better watch it because you're standing really close to it. Okay, you guys, I'm really sorry. I gotta go change my foot. Can somebody from Hi-Fi give me a hand? I mean, Malad, Caitlin, you guys, you better change my foot. I'm gonna be bringing dinosaur crap all over the platform. Everyone's world is gonna be stinky. Ugh.
Okay. Fantastic. So I managed to crash just before. So, okay, we're getting now to the second part, and what we really like you to do is wear the bubble avatar by just clicking on those signs over there. And what we like you to do now is make sure you mute yourself, but we want you to be wherever you want, in front of the avatar, right next to the avatar, to try to experience what a director making a movie can do by doing close-ups and doing cuts and so on. Because that is one of the challenges of VR, is how do you control the action and how can you actually you don't have all the things that you can do in traditional cinema. The reason for these avatars is because I want Teresa to be able to see where you are so that she can then eventually, maybe when we actually go somewhere else and when we're going to do other experiments outside traditional theater, is actually try to guide you as you tend to do actually in progressive theater, to guide the spectators to see the actual action that's going on somewhere else. So she needs to see you, but at the same time, she can obviously not act if she's surrounded by humanoid avatars all over her. So this is an experiment. What I suggest is you try to be, if you can, in front of her, because she'll be looking right at you. The eye contact is quite impressive, and it does convey emotion a lot stronger than what you would feel as if you were there. So please wear that avatar by clicking on it, and try to come as close as you can.
No, you never loved me, Torvald. You never loved me. You didn't. You only found it amusing, convenient, pleasant to have me around the house, doing things for you. Yes, Torvald, it's true. You know, when I used to live with my father, he would tell me his opinion about things, and so I had the same opinion. Because if I didn't, he wouldn't like it at all. No. He used to call me his doll child, and he played with me just like I played with my dolls. And then I came to live with you. No. Actually, I was transferred from my father's hands into your hands, and you organized my life according to your tastes. And so, I had the same taste as you. Or maybe I just pretended to. I don't know, maybe a bit of both. Well, Torvald, I've been living in our home for 20 years. But the truth is, I don't have a home. I'm homeless. This is your home. Yes, Torvald, I have existed only to complete your picture. You and my father have sinned greatly against me. It is your fault. If I have made nothing out of my life, it's your fault, Torvald. Nothing has come out of my life. My life is not mine. Okay, so that was Nora, more modern cinematographic style of acting, more intimate. And now the last monologue is Annette. Lucia, if you want to say something. Annette is a comical, frenzy, superficial, stressed out, neurotic woman. And I have to tell you a little bit about the background of this monologue. It's a play called God of Carnage. It's a great play by Yasmina Reza, 2006. It was very successful in theater. And it talks about our everyday life. And these two couples, Annette and Alan, are the parents of Benjamin. And Veronica and Michael are the parents of Henry. So Benjamin and Henry are 11 years old, and Benjamin hit Henry over the face with a stick at the playground. So now the four parents are discussing what happened, and Annette is talking to the other parents. So I'll go back and get Annette. And Lucio, go ahead and say anything.
Yes, so probably to explain, you have to click on one of those floating balls over there, and that will convert you into one of these ball avatars. So if we welcome you to come, again, very close to Teresa, try to look at her straight in the face, from the side, do whatever you want. You're your own director. So try to do that, but just be sure that you are wearing the ball avatar, because if you're not wearing the ball avatar, then of course it does create a bit of a problem. And I guess if you're wearing attachments to your avatar, that's a lesson we're learning right now, that necessarily doesn't work. So we're ready to go, Teresa?
Well, if you ask me, everyone's feeling fine. Everyone's feeling better, much calmer, don't you think so? Alan, would you get off that phone, please? Jeez, men are so wedded to their gadgets these days. I mean, it just belittles them, takes away all their authority, their sex appeal, if you ask me. I mean, a man ought to keep his hands free, if you ask me. Even a briefcase is enough to put me off. Not to mention a shoulder bag. Yuck. Ugh. There's nothing worse than a shoulder bag. Once I used to be attracted. I was really attracted by this guy until one day I saw him with a square backpack. Yuck. That was it. Over, finished, gone. That's it. Nothing is worse than a backpack. Ugh. Although nothing's worse than a shoulder bag or a briefcase, too. Yeah. Well, anyway, a man who just can't give the impression of being alone. He's got to give the impression of being alone. I mean, that he's capable of being alone. If you ask me, I had a John Wayne-ish idea of virility. Long hanging arms and bare hands swinging along your sides. And what was it he had once? A Colt 45? I mean, a device for creating a vacuum? A man who can't just give the impression that he's alone has no texture, if you ask me. So, Michael, Veronica, how are you? Was Henry's head somewhat fractured too? I mean, what's the name of that little bone you were mentioning before? I just don't remember, jeez, but in the end, hey, everyone's feeling fine. Everyone's feeling better, if you ask me, right? Okay. So that was it. That was the last monologue. So thank you. I know you're all muted. In a way, I'm really sorry that you're muted because I'd love to feel...
Awesome.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Thank you. Actors really need to feel your reaction. And so we were really discussing this in the past few days, whether to mute you or not, because we really need to have you. You are theater. Theater is audience and actors together. Otherwise, it's not theater. So, but since with the technology, there are a lot of issues like your coffee machine or chair falling, things near my ears would have been a little difficult to deal with. So, but it's great to hear your voice now. Go ahead.
Teresa, what about the energy coming from us as the audience? What can we as High Fidelity do next to better? I didn't feel like I could move you. I didn't feel like I could clap for you. I didn't feel like I could reward you for your acting as much as I wanted. What do you think we could do next?
Yeah.
We can give her HFC, but in terms of feeling us, in terms of feeling us though in the moment, what do you...
You know what? I'll tell you something. I've done 20 years of performances. I don't know how many thousands of performances, different kinds. And even if the audience is silent, as you were forced to be today, I can feel you anyway. It's an energy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.